before CJAM, finding marketing partners, how were you finding them? I mean, you weren't hiring before, but let's say the system of finding marketing partners. How have you find that experience outside of CJAM, like what you were normally doing day to day? How was that?
Sure. So I interface with a lot of different companies. I think we like to put it in perspective. I think we're having new relationships, if you could say, with around 50 to 100 new companies a week across the companies. And a lot of these companies, they're well aware of my proclivity to be, involved in the marketing and sales space. So they ask me the same questions that I would be asking them if I didn't know somebody like B. Which is, hey, who do you recommend for this? Or like, hey, what's your experience? Like, hey, where do you go to find a marketing agency? And I'm like, good God, they don't know a person like B exists because they wouldn't have to ask these dumb questions. They don't think it's dumb. And at the time, if I didn't know B, I wouldn't think it's dumb either. I'm like, that's a pretty legitimate question. Where do I find a good marketing agency, right? And the fact that there's no clear cut answer for this. And I'm not knocking on the websites that give you reviews. I think it's great. Transparency is great because you get, unadulterated reviews about that company, but the reviews don't tell the full story. So like, honestly, if I didn't have somebody like me, I'd be doing like what everyone else is doing. They're just asking on forums, asking a successful company on what's working for them. And I would just have to hope and trust that the referral that was made was a good one. Now, when I'm working with B, it's like, hey, I can hope and trust that the referral made is a good one, but it's also based on actual like vetting that occurs. And still, I don't take B at his word. As much as I trust him and like him, I verify him. I still go out and do my own independent research on these companies because if by chance I did find something a little like, I would let B know. It's like, hey, man, I know you recommended them, but were you aware of this, right? And I don't just look at reviews. I look for lawsuits. I look for other huge red flags that come in my own little wannabe private investigator Google researching, whatever I can pull off in my limited time frame I do. But honestly, to date, I have not dug up anything. So
Oh, I love it. I love that internal investigative research. And I also agree when I tell people, I'm like, look, I'm like the first level HR recruiter. That's really, really hard to get through. The second level is up to you to figure out if the things fit and hoping that it helps.
Exactly.